In the world of consumerism, there are lots of different ways in which the media manipulate us. That phone that you've bought, the food that you're eating, the clothes that you're wearing, ever thought of why you picked this? Things we watch, see and hear can subconsciously have effects on us as consumers. Media and advertisement industries go out with this as their intention in order to convince the audiences into being the consumers for their products. For as long as television and radio have been around, companies have been using various ways in order to try and sway us into believing their items are better and make us buy their products. The way in which they do this can be linked and related to propaganda. Propaganda means information of a biased or misleading nature used to promote or publicise a particular political cause or point of view. Although advertisement industries don't publicise a political cause, it does promote their products with a biased point of view in order to mislead the audience and promote what they are selling. In this presentation, I will be focusing on how women are represented in advertising, from old adverts to new, and how media play on our gender roles and stereotypes in order to have an effect on the audience and sell products. First-wave feminism was introduced in the 19th century, but wasn't popular enough to stop industries targeting women. First-wave feminism was primarily trying to gain women the vote in elections, therefore trying to stop industries making sexist adverts was probably not one of their main things to change. This can be a reason. Also the fact that in the 50s it was a norm for women to do tasks such as cooking and cleaning. In fact, it was seen as abnormal for women to go out and earn the money for their families. So it could be said that although in the modern day these adverts are seen as sexist, back in the 50s these adverts were completely normal. Of course they were targeting women in order to sell and make money, but this is no different to how the media manipulate us now. A good example of audience manipulation is the Lynx deodorant for men. We can see that these adverts know how manipulative they can be, so in some ways they are self-referential to the world of advertisement. They know that audiences are going to be aware that they are using women in a situation that ends very unrealistically in order to sell products. Therefore, they have made their manipulation blatantly obvious in order to mock adverts of some sort, and their adverts are laughable and more memorable. The same could be said for the Diet Coke advert, which this time has women as their target audience. The advertisements with Diet Coke Break as its slogan first aired in 1994. The advert showed a construction worker who was considered to be good-looking, being admired by a group of women in an office window. These adverts became popular and sales increased, so the Hunk series Diet Coke adverts carried on, with fresh versions in 1997 and 2007 and the newest one in 2013. There's also the point that it's the women who were targeted for Diet Coke instead of men. The same goes for Maltese adverts showing that they are now with less calories, or Rivita adverts and even Adios diet pills. Companies know that it's women who care more about their appearance. In everything, from children's storybooks to magazines, the character that the guy gets or the celebrity that we like the most, all of these have been seen and socially constructed as the perfect figure. We are almost brainwashed into what we think is aesthetically pleasing and what isn't, what we want to look like and what we don't, what we like and what we do not. These adverts show sexism as well as manipulation. They objectify men and women. They use what their target audience wants and desires in order to grab attention and sell. If we take a look at the Coca-Cola adverts from the early 50s, it's apparent that there are clear gender roles and stereotypes. In this advert, women are seen to be going shopping, either shopping for family groceries or some kind of own personal hobby. Some of these stereotypes are still carried on until today. Even to this day, women are seen as people who enjoy going shopping, often with other females, even though this may not be strictly true for a lot of females. This relates to gender roles, gender differences, and gender inequality. It could be said that we are put into our gender roles since birth. If you see blue, you usually think boy, and for girls you think pink. Gender differences and gender inequality are still seen today. There are some serious cases, such as in Egypt, husbands can file official complaints in the airport to forbid their wives from leaving the country for any reason. Or in Saudi Arabia, some women aren't allowed to drive or even ride bikes, and men aren't allowed to drive women unless they're closely related. Or there are smaller cases, such as in many countries it's harder for women to put in for a divorce, as they come across more legal and financial obstacles than men do. These gender differences, for many of us, may seem out of the norm, but they are completely normal in these countries. Therefore, can it be said that gender inequality, gender stereotyping, and gender roles were really that sexist if they were normal for people of that time era? Overall, there are so many ways in which the media use advertisement in order to create sales and keep capitalism going. It is clear that the times have changed, and so have the ways in which advertisement portray women. But this hasn't stopped industries from manipulating their target audiences and using gender roles and what people want or desire in order to make sales.